race part 2.
Let's just see where it goes. Let's see where it goes.
Okay.
Like we might start talking about something else because we're getting a little bit into you can have that for now.
Oh, yeah, into what? Politics?
We're getting a little bit into politics, so we can see
Look at my beard.
we can see where this goes. We can see where this goes.
I forgot where we left off on. We're talking about the Democratic Party. Talking about Hispanic, but I think we're talking about a lot of
Just prejudice in general.
Hispanic people. Sorry. We're still stuck in this game.
Yeah, I'm scanning through everything, making sure we didn't miss anything, and honestly, we didn't.
Go back there just in case, I guess.
Where?
To the place where like the boulders are.
All the way on.
Oh, wait, down. No, down. Like where we, like where we're supposed to go, but there's like a boulder in the fucking way.
Oh, you mean like the dead end?
Yeah. Let's go there. Maybe we open it because you got the other hieroglyphic. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, look. Let me just continue here. Let me just
All right,
continue here for a second.
Just in case.
Because we're already at the end. Let me just see if there's what's going on here.
All right.
It's saving. It's a good sign, right?
I think it saves every time we go into this area. No?
Really?
Yeah, kind of. Because I feel like that's where the boss battle is, right?
Yeah, I think so. It has to be.
Has to be, and then this is the.
We went through this.
If we went through that, that's where
You went through that.
Yeah, that's where the other area is. There's nothing behind that tree, right?
No.
Not over there. Whatever the fuck that is. No. It's just like part of the decorations.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you think race is so? The big thing is talking about social construction. Do you think race is socially constructed?
Oh, a social construct?
Yeah.
Race?
So for example, like what does it mean to be white? Like white, or what does it mean to be black?
Okay.
Or what does it mean to be his?
Okay.
Because last time we were talking about like Hispanic people, how people kind of broadly put Hispanic people. I don't even like that term. Hispanic people into this like big category, like we're one big race, as opposed to we're kind of more of a multitude of ethnicities that kind of share more of a cultural likeness in a way.
Yeah.
So, do you think they kind of do that shit with like white people? Because like I feel like, at least from what I heard from Danny, Danny is French. From what I hear from Danny, there's no such thing as white in Europe. There's the French, Germans, Swedes. There's more.
But here there is.
Yeah, here there is. So in a way, the argument has been recently that, well, race is kind of more socially constructed in a way. Like for example, like white.
Actually, I agree with that.
Was kind of built to kind of point out the other. Like, oh, we are white people. You're this other.
Yeah, actually, there is an element. My knee-jerk reaction to your question was no. It's biological. And I think it is biological.
In a way.
Depending on your genetics, your heritage, that's your race, right?
Yeah.
However, you bring up a good point, right? Like, what constitutes white? What constitutes
black,
Hispanic, and black?
Or black.
And the thing is, I think African Americans are a perfect example of this. When I say African Americans, we're referring to people from America that have dark skin. Doesn't matter where they're from.
Well, they have like African heritage, right? Because that's where they were.
But in reality,
taken from.
Exactly. But in reality, they're really just Americans.
Okay.
What's the point of calling them African American? Because then, with that logic, you would say, well, that's a European American, right? When you look at a white person.
Yeah. But like I said, that's kind of that's kind of like in the past used to kind of point out the other.
Exactly.
Instead of like, oh, we are these people, we're white people.
Exactly.
And these are African American. These are black people. These are people. These are not like us. Mm-hmm. So kind of.
I agree. It seems like the way that we segment people right? The labels and terms that we have. Is this where the path?
No, that's.
Yes, it seems
You
like
want?
it's
You want to try a different area?
yeah. Which
You think we're good enough to go back to the first wooded area?
the crystal area?
Like the first area we went to, it was on
Yeah, that was
west.
a crystal area.
West, yeah.
Yeah.
You think we should try that? Well, what's in there?
I'm pretty sure you went here.
Probably.
You check.
I think I did.
You check. Yeah, this is where the other tablet was, right?
I think so.
Or the. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, the alcohol is into also.
Yeah, this is that tablet. Alright, we got the second one, right?
Yeah. Do you think there's any more? Did you check back at the dead end to see if it was open?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Let's just check back at it.
Yeah, let's check. Let's check. I feel like we were pretty thorough.
I think so.
Let's see.
I don't know. We could. Yeah.
Okay. Here. No.
You've tried Dark Souls, right? Oh, I think we played Dark Souls once. Once.
I started the game.
Once.
I started the game, but with you.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember Dark Souls 3. Yeah.
I never finished it.
That
would be a great game to play.
I think so. I think I would definitely like for you to play it because I'm like.
Is it on the computer?
Yeah, of course it is. It's on Steam, of course.
All right.
So all three of them.
We can get it on Steam then.
I would definitely like watching you play. I think you should play it more than I because I feel like I don't want to sound cocky here, but I'm definitely a veteran in that game.
Yeah.
Like I love those games so much. Those games are really good. I think that's where we went, right? Those games are really good. They're definitely they're hard, but whatever.
No, we'll try those games.
Anyways, as you were saying about race. So yeah, like I'm saying, that's like the. Did you go to there? I don't even fucking that was the first tablet. So. Oh yeah, I remember it's north. You go north, that's where the place is.
I already passed it?
Yeah, you passed it. You passed it. I remember that it was like I think it's down those stairs. No, was it? Like dude, I don't remember. Dude. No.
There's a sign here, right? You see that little thing?
Yeah, but that's grass. That's grass.
No, this right here.
What? What?
Right there. That's usually a sign that there's a secret here.
Is it? No, I didn't pay attention to that. I don't know. I don't even remember. I don't think I got your answer. So, do you think race is socially constructed, or do you think that is like okay. Oh,
okay.
There you go. Does that mean we can get a power up?
Yeah, it does. I think.
Do you want to go get a power up just in case?
Might as well. But
check first.
Where is this?
It's.
We already went through.
Yeah. I think so. We did. At least I think so.
Yo, where's this? No, it wasn't here, right?
No, go up. I think it's up, right? Yeah, it is.
Okay.
We're gonna figure this out somehow.
It's over here, right?
So yeah, it's down there.
Okay. Let's see.
Dude, what the fuck are we doing wrong? We're doing something. You know what? Fuck it. Just go to Crystal, please. Fuck this place. We'll figure it out later, man. I think we got better at this game than we can do the Crystal place.
Okay. Yeah.
Anywho, you just fucking go back. Just pop back. Oh yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, the map is very deceptive because it seems like it's a straightforward line, and it's not.
It's not at all.
It's not, dude. Anyway, so what do you think? Do you think there's more? I do think there are biological aspects to quote unquote race.
I mean, there has to be, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, of course.
Okay,
but
we had to.
We had to have gone through there.
I'm not even gonna. What is it called?
What was it? I think we were.
Humor the idea.
Yeah, I think. So yeah, we needed like 2 more. Now we had 2.
Okay.
Yo, I don't remember this. To be honest, I don't remember much of this game. I feel like we played this game
Yeah, it's good.
like a month. We started playing this game like what, a month ago. I don't even remember, dude. Dude, it's just like my job kind of fucks up my weeks, bro. It really does.
It fucks up your week.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, of course. Cause like working. Oh yeah, I don't think we never got that.
You work for a straight week.
Yeah,
right?
and then I get a week off.
And then a week off.
Which I know I feel like somehow we never got that.
I like it though, because it means we can hang out every 2 weeks, like
like consistently.
Pretty guaranteed.
Yeah, pretty guaranteed. So that's good. That's good. As opposed to my other job where it was very inconsistent.
Yeah, because on the days off you want to hang out with your girlfriend, so. But when you have 7 days off in a row, it's a lot easier to find one day or like
one day to hang out with you. Yeah,
exactly.
It's dope because it's like, but it's cool because like, it's good because like you have a consistent schedule, I have a consistent schedule, and we can meet up. Yeah. As opposed to going like months without seeing each other.
Yeah, that's lame.
Yeah, which it does happen a lot, but whatever. But that's a good thing I think that's a good thing about you and me is that. It's like it doesn't really matter as much. Like we don't have to talk for like a few months and we're still cool, as opposed to like people who drift apart.
Yeah.
Because I feel like our personalities are.
I think we mesh well because every time I talk to you, it always feels like a new conversation.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, like it's never boring to talk to you.
No, definitely not. Not for you either.
With even with my girlfriend, our conversations are like they follow a certain, let's say, flow chart.
Rhythm, yeah.
But
I feel like we our conversations just go
unleashed.
Yeah, it's true. Dude, we have to. That's why, like, if I want to travel with somebody, I think I want to travel with you because I feel like you and I would just that we will get the most out of it.
Yeah, I agree. I still think about that. It's just not in the cards for me right now.
Yeah, I understand. Especially for me right now too. Yeah, I understand. I understand.
But I am
responsibilities.
Yeah,
You're a bitch.
I'm still thinking about it. I still want to do the trip to Japan.
Oh hell yeah! What?
That has to. I don't know how traveling international is right now with.
Right now, I don't.
But
right, I feel as soon as COVID becomes more like endemic, I feel like then we can kind of travel. You get me? I feel it's kind of getting there.
I don't even know what Japan's attitude is towards COVID. I have no idea what
they're definitely more anal than us. Like Florida, like there was no like lockdowns.
No.
Like some businesses closed. But like in terms
it was like for 2 weeks, maybe a month.
But in terms of lockdowns, there wasn't really like I remember
not much. Yeah, like it was for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks. I remember my job. My job gave out this form saying like, oh, this is a essential worker, please let them pass. Thinking like that we were gonna, I guess we were gonna have like a full lockdown, like kind of like European style, where like nobody was allowed in the streets. Then I remember when like lockdowns lockdowns. There's a curfew. Like nobody listens to them.
No,
especially here in Miami, nobody listens to them, and like and like cops don't really enforce it. So it was like, so it's kind of weird because like we really didn't have a lockdown here.
Yeah,
in this city, not
really.
I know there's some businesses that closed down that had like on the border here. On the border, they shut down.
That's a restaurant, right?
Yeah, it's a restaurant. They shut down.
Yeah, it makes sense. But
no, like they're out of business.
They out of business?
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, that still makes sense.
Yeah, some out of business. Anyways, back to the conversation. Do you think so? I never got your answer. So you? Oh no, you did. You said your knee-jerk reaction was that.
Yeah. I think that race is 100% biological because you're going to be able to trace it. You're going to be
100%.
Yeah, because you can trace your genetic makeup.
So what do you think it means to be white? Like in your perspective, or do you think there's a way to define someone being white?
Okay, well, there is a way to define a person being white. Yes.
How so?
Well, you look at their skin color. If they're that's the objective way, right?
Do you think that because so let's take for example Asians, like I'm gonna use Asians, East Asians broadly. Would you consider like Japanese people white skinned Asians as opposed to Filipinos who are dark skinned Asians? Would you consider them white skinned Asians?
No, I would have never thought of it that way. I just think as Japanese is Japanese.
But for example,
I guess
their skin color is definitely like more a line of white.
Yeah,
you get me.
It seems like their skin tones are more
lighter, fair.
I mean, if you think about it, the Japanese culture even glamorizes
fair skin,
fair skin, right?
Yeah, of course,
their makeup.
Yeah, I get you.
When they do makeup, they try and make the skin lighter, right? Like traditionally speaking.
So that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, you think they should be considered like white Asians?
Nah. Well, from the perspective of an American, I would have never thought to make that distinction. I just think of Japanese as Japanese. You know, Filipinos as Filipinos. Chinese as Chinese.
So isn't it kind of weird how we kind of broadenize like European people here in America as like white?
No, absolutely.
Which is like something they don't really. Well, maybe they do more in modern Europe, but like from what I've heard from Danny, they're more like they're more like not ethnic. Well, maybe ethnically, like we're ethnically French, we're ethnically Spanish, we're ethnically Italian, we're ethnically. Even though like broadly speaking, like here we would consider them white.
Yeah, it makes sense why Europeans are like that because so many countries are.
Oh, I see. I see the issue now.
Are condensed. So many countries are close to each other, right? You're only like an hour's drive away from another country. Which is completely different here, right? You're the only country you can drive to, right?
Canada or Mexico.
Mexico, right?
And from Florida stands, it's like fucking 16 hours. That's probably like 3 days off, 2 days out.
So it makes sense why Europeans are like that, and that's exactly my gripe with the term African American, right? Like African Americans, like let's be real, they're just Americans. That's really what they are. Like
the term African is because of their heritage.
Yeah,
they're from Africa. Even though like
I can accept that, but I can accept that their heritage is African American, but African. But their culture, their identity, at this
more
point,
Americanized.
It's American.
Americanized.
Matter of fact, Africans are so different from African Americans that why even call them? I mean, if you're gonna call African Americans Africans, then you should call
Europeans
white
Europeans.
White, yeah, exactly. You should call them white European Americans or something like that.
Yeah,
but that doesn't make any. There's no point saying that.
Yeah.
There's no point calling me a European American. I'm just an American. Like, there's nothing European about me except my heritage.
Yeah,
which I'm so disconnected from.
That's true because that's true because when you think about American, like you don't.
Everyone from America is an immigrant.
Yeah,
at some point. So,
like technically, I'm American, even though I was born in Colombia. Like technically, under the law, I'm American. I did my citizenship, and from the views other than that I can't run for presidency, I'm American.
Wait, we already went through here, right?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think we did.
No. Wait. You never did that. Remember that we couldn't jump through here?
Oh, really?
You never did that. Yeah.
Really?
I remember that. I totally remember that.
Okay.
You got here. We couldn't, for whatever fucking reason, we didn't cross, but you didn't do that before.
Okay. So look, you're right because that thing is there.
Yeah. So,
all right, let's go.
Yeah. So whatever. Fucking, we're kind of just winging in this game. So I guess when we talk about Americans, it's a little harder to define because there's no such thing as like American, racially wise. Well, unless we count like.
I think
the indigenous.
I think there is. Oh, yeah, that's true.
We call the indigenous.
I mean, that's why I think America is
oh shit!
Such a
wait. I think we got that, and then we can go through the door, right?
Is that enough? Is that
I think so. Yeah, that's the fourth one. Yeah, right. Yeah, we can go through the door now. We can go through the door now. It's progress.
Boss?
I don't know. I
think so.
Let's finally do some fucking progress.
Holy shit.
Yeah. He's coughing, so I guess that's progress.
That's like cancer kicking in.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Fuck. What?
You got like splatted.
Yeah, for real.
That gives me. I when we first started this game, I thought that this was very like Berserk-esque. But that gives me like huge Full Metal Alchemist vibes.
Oh,
that huge door coming up.
Yeah.
When's the last time you saw that show?
Dude, it's been a while. I gotta see it again.
How well do you remember it?
Not at all.
Not at all? Really?
Yeah, dude, because I used to watch it in Adult Swim.
Oh shit!
It was way back in the day. I was like, and the thing is, I wouldn't watch it like consistently. I watch it like on and off.
Okay, so you would catch.
So it's probably when he was in your Brotherhood. It was probably just the original show, Full Metal Alchemist, which differentiated from the manga totally.
Oh man!
All right, so we can go to that door.
I actually want to rewatch that show.
I do. Full
Metal Alchemist is so good, so fucking good,
so good.
Okay, let me see.
It's not older anime. It's really good.
It's been a while since I've seen Full Metal Alchemist. So I can't really remember where I would place it in terms of my top anime, but it's
think it's up there.
Yeah, I think it's like a top three.
Did you continue to watch reading Berserk?
No, I'm gonna buy the next manga though.
That is funky.
I mean, Berserk manga is so good. It's disappointing to me that the
creator died.
No, not the creator died. That
the anime sucks.
That the anime sucks.
Well, if you can watch the '90s one. The '90s one is pretty good.
It is.
The one from the '90s is really good.
All right. Well, no, I'm more interested in the manga anyway.
Yeah. No, of course you should be. What the fuck? I don't think we've been up here.
Oh no, this is
new.
This is some boss level shit.
Oh, damn, bro, we're gonna fight the boss. We keep getting off topic.
Yeah.
Anyways, where were we in terms of the ratio? We talked about African. Oh yeah, we were talking about like African Americans. We were talking about. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to fucking pee, dog. I'm sorry. Fucking beer getting to me.
Go for it, dude.
Just fucking talk to the audience.
Yeah, I'll do my comedy routine. All right, so I'm going to tell you guys a story about my girlfriend and I. We have an apartment together. We live together, just us two. And it's been amazing. Right? But she's very, holy shit. How do I put it? She's very girly in some ways. For example, she's really scared of spiders. One day, I was just sitting in my room playing games, kind of like how I'm doing right now. And I hear, all of a sudden, I hear a scream. Ah! Right, from the kitchen. Like, what the fuck? Right, so I go over to the kitchen, and I'm like, babe, well, what's wrong? What's going on? Oh shit, the dog. The dog.
Right, you think my hair's too long?
No, it's not. It's not that long.
It's pretty good, eh? It's the longest I've had in a long time.
I mean, I remember you having it way longer. How do you feel about it?
What?
Your hair.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it.
What does that even mean for you to like your hair?
It doesn't really mean anything. It's just I like the way it looks. It's like, oh, that's cool. I get compliments. A lot of people are
really? People compliment?
Yeah, people.
Hair?
Yeah.
Why?
Is that hard to believe?
Yeah, it is.
Why is that hard to believe?
Because your hair looks so normal.
Because people like I remember growing up. The norm. The norm was like
your hair just looks so normal to me. Like, why would you compliment your hair? That's what I think.
Okay, so anyways, I'm glad we hit this place up because we're definitely getting like progress as opposed to the other days. Anyways, so I remember when I remember growing up, the big thing. I don't know if you remember this. Like the big thing was like straight hair, like the skater guy, the emo guy. That was like the thing. Now it's like the era of the curly hair. So people like for whatever reason they really like it when their hair fucking twists or whatever fucking reason. So I get a lot of compliments.
Damn, that's funny.
Or people like, yo, your hair is really nice. And so like
enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah. So it's exactly. So I'm like, all right,
style right now.
Yeah. So it's in style right now. So that's why I guess I like my hair because people compliment it.
And when that goes away, what will you do?
I guess I'll shave my fucking head. I don't know.
Shave your head?
I don't know.
You think your bald head is gonna get compliments?
Probably not. Who cares?
Not. But it's gonna make a statement. People won't be able to look away.
Yeah, for real.
People will probably be scared of you. You know what? One day, I was at the gym, right, and I got a black eye, right. This was during Halloween, and we went to a Halloween party, and we with my girlfriend. I went to a Halloween party with my girlfriend, and I didn't have a costume, but I did have a black eye. So I improvised and I just dressed up real fancy, right? And my costume, when people asked me, I was a vigilante crime fighter by night, right, and a philanthropist by day, right, and that's like explaining my black eye. But the thing is, no one asked me. Because everyone was so fucking scared of me because I had the black eye. I was the scariest guy there. And I felt like I felt so cool. I'm like, no one wanted to look at me. Like, no one wants to make any eye contact with me.
Yeah, because they're scared, bro. Like,
they're scared of me. Exactly. I love that shit. I love when people
are somewhat about this guy.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you walk around with a bald head and like a swastika tattoo, like.
Yeah, I mean, like
no one is gonna want to fuck.
No offense, bro. Like I'm not gonna go up to a guy with a fucking bald head and a swastika tattoo. I don't like. Why would I? As soon as he figures out my name, he's gonna be fucking. He's probably gonna beat my ass. Like, what's your name? It's a little. Doesn't sound American, dog. It doesn't sound European.
You're South American too. It makes sense, right? The Nazis they went to South America, right? To escape.
It's to Argentina, yeah. It's to Argentina too.
And Brazil, right?
Yeah, it's kind of weird that they went to out of all places they went to. Like, let's go to South America.
I mean, where else would you go? South America is kind of like detached, right, from all that shit. Where was South America during World War II?
I'm pretty sure some South American countries fought in World War II.
Which ones?
I don't fucking know, but I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
You just do like a bullseye or like a random.
To be honest, if like I had like a bounty on my head or like I was running from the law, I'll go to South America.
Exactly.
Who the fuck is gonna look in South America?
Exactly. You're thinking like a Nazi.
I will go to South America because I'm pretty sure it's pretty easy to hide in a country where most people don't want to go anyway. Exactly. And in a continent, I'm sorry, where most people don't want to go anyway.
Actually, one of my ex, right? She was German, but she was also Brazilian.
Who?
Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like, all right.
She was German and Brazilian.
So you're like, huh? And you're looking at her like, huh?
Yeah.
So where'd you get that German?
Exactly.
Where'd you get that German in you, dog?
There's a fair possibility there.
She could have been a Nazi.
Yeah,
she's Nazi descendant.
Nazi descendant.
Nazi descendancy, yeah. Huh.
You never know. Yeah, dude. It's race is a fit.
I totally forgot about her. She was pretty cool.
She's pretty chill.
Yeah, she was.
She was not. When I think back to it, she was so out of my league. She was.
Do you remember? I remember you told me this. I don't know if you remember. Like she had a problem with Danny because like Danny would he had like a staring problem.
No, yeah.
And it's like
we should probably talk to Danny about that.
Yeah, I wish Danny were here.
Yeah, I wish Danny was here.
Yeah. So
she brought that up. She's like, she was uncomfortable around Danny.
Well, I
Danny
don't know
was
why.
Always staring at her and smiling
at her. But it's like, that's Danny. Danny's a very
he has an infectious smile.
Yeah. So he's always.
That's what I told her. I'm like, I told her, don't worry about Danny. He just loves to smile.
He just likes to smile. Like he's a very happy guy.
He's always smiling.
Yeah, he's always like for whatever reason. Especially back then we used to get like fucking like violently high, dude. Like, we used to just be so fucking high. Like,
yeah, that eyes were probably closed. He probably wasn't looking at anything. He's just smiling.
Yeah, he's just probably like looking into the void and smiling because oh.
Yeah, but she was, I forget how old I was. I think I was like 21.
We were like around there.
20, 21. Yeah, something like that.
In that age range.
She was 24, which really isn't that much older. If you like, it's only 3 years.
Uh-huh.
But now that I'm 26,
it's kind of worlds apart.
I realize now how different it is to be 20 and then like 24.
Yeah, for sure.
And I can in retrospect I see like how much out of my league she was. The only reason she was interested in me, I would say, is because I was so like indifferent, so like nonchalant in my
approach to her. Yes.
In my approach. No, so nonchalant, like in my personality in general, that she kind of she was what I would consider a hot girl. She was like
she was definitely good looking.
She was a hot girl, like she's that kind of girl, and I don't mean that to like brag or anything. But she's the kind of girl that gets a lot of attention from guys, like a lot of attention, to the point where she's used to it. So I think the fact that I didn't give her that much attention.
Fuck, you don't have any life.
Let's see if I can take these out.
You probably can.
Yeah, the fact that I kind of didn't give her much attention, like in that kind of flirty way, and that I was nonchalant, I think kind of put her onto me. I think that's the only reason I dated her. Oh shit, you're right. That guy is fucking.
Yeah. That's what I told you. Homie.
I've been playing for a lot.
Right, dude, I'm like a little fucking. I'm too fucked up. In fact, I think we were like way off topic. We're supposed to talk about race.
That's right. So my girlfriend was a Nazi.
Oh yeah.
My ex-girlfriend was a Nazi.
Well, descendant, you know.
A Nazi descendant.
To be fair,
but that's real. If you're a Nazi descendant, would the leftists forgive you?
Probably not. They'll probably be like, I'm like,
they're gonna go through your Twitter feed.
They'll be like,
and they're gonna try and find the most outlandish thing that you've ever tweeted.
That's true.
You retweeted you retweeted an article from Politico. A right-wing media site.
Is it really?
I don't know. Daily Wire.
Yeah, that's definitely.
That one's pretty left wing. Or I'm sorry,
right wing. That's right definitely. Wing. So that's like Ben Shapiro try.
Yeah.
What do you think about Ben Shapiro?
I think Ben Shapiro is a lot smarter than people give credit for.
I think so, but I do think he does definitely do like the partisan hackery a lot in some ways. Yeah. I do think he's smart. I don't deny he's not intelligent, but I do think he's definitely very partisan in a way.
I listened to Ben Shapiro's podcast.
Yeah, I didn't know he had a podcast. Oh yeah, he does.
It's a super. He's had this podcast forever. And I've really only started listening to it recently. And what I like to do, this is just in general, is I like to listen to like really left-leaning podcasts and really right-leaning podcasts, because it's really bizarre when something happens. Right, like just news. Let's say whatever. Right. Let's say Biden does a speech. Right. It's really interesting to listen to the like far left podcast
as opposed to the right one,
and then the far right. Right. It's the interpretations are.
Yeah, for real.
The arguments are very different.
Yeah, for real.
So
it's kind of weird.
I really enjoy getting
both perspectives.
Both perspectives. Anyway, so I listened to Ben Shapiro, and the thing is he's really smart. He's a I don't know if he has a PhD, but he's a lawyer.
Well, he's a lawyer, so in a way, that's like a I'm pretty sure that's a doctorate degree.
He might have a PhD in law. I'm not entirely sure about that, but he has to at least have a master's.
He's a lawyer.
He practiced in law, and the thing is, when he talks, he has a very technical way of interpreting, technical and very pragmatic way of interpreting law and business and property rights and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's definitely.
So whether you love or hate Ben Shapiro, you can't deny that he backs up his arguments with technical knowledge, and so that's undeniable. That doesn't mean you have to agree with what he says, but the thing is, you can argue with Ben Shapiro because he always provides like, let's say, logical. He always not logical. He always provides an argument for his beliefs, so you can argue against him in that way. However, when I listen to the more left-leaning podcasts, is they never really justify their beliefs or opinions or views with arguments. The arguments are much more opinionated. And so I give props for Shapiro for constantly being a debater. I think that like 90% of people would get absolutely destroyed by Ben Shapiro in a debate. You can debate Ben Shapiro on just about anything political, and most people would get absolutely destroyed. I would
definitely.
You know what I would love to see? I would love to see Bernie Sanders debate Ben Shapiro on something, on anything. And the thing is, I think Ben Shapiro would embarrass Bernie Sanders in a debate, honestly, because Ben Shapiro is that kind of like he's like a good debater. He's a good argumenter.
Definitely.
That's what he's good at. Whether you agree with
him or not.
Yeah, whether you agree with him or not.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with him too much in a way.
He's very conservative.
Yeah,
he's like,
I think he's
true conservative.
Yeah, definitely, which is like.
But his opinion is valuable.
Yeah.
In my perspective, honestly.
Yeah, bro.
And he's a minority. He's a Jew.
He's a Jew,
right? But people don't look at Ben Shapiro as a minority.
They look at him as a white guy.
He's a white guy. He's a business owner, kind of like wealthy-ish white man, right? But he's a minority. He's a Jew.
That's so weird that people. I don't know. It's so weird. So weird how people look at fucking business owners. Like the average business owner is not like a millionaire. He's like he's like a what, like maybe middle class, working middle class.
Ben Shapiro?
Guy. No, I'm talking about like the average business owner. It's not like some fucking like crazy millionaire.
Probably middle class, low middle class.
Yeah, like
my girlfriend's mom. She owns her job is she owns a clothing store.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, so she's a business owner.
Yeah, but she's not like crazy wealthy.
No, she's I would say middle class. Maybe, I mean, I don't know how the classes are distributed now. Now that the middle class is like, I feel like it becomes more narrow. It's shrinking. I think the middle class is a shrinking class. But anyway,
oh my god! I knew that was gonna happen too.
I don't even know what.
I don't even know where we are. Yeah, I know.
I don't even know where you are. Dude.
I think I don't know, but I survived long enough for us to have a conversation about Ben Shapiro. We're supposed to be talking about race. So off topic. I guess it has to do with race.
What else I have to say about race? Like,
well, we're talking about like the social construct. I don't even know that's a fucking word.
Social construct?
No, like like how people view. Well, at least how people more left-leaning view race as more of a social construct, which I don't.
To be honest,
generally,
I never heard of that.
Really?
I've never heard of race being a social construct.
Really?
I'm guessing that's
kind of like how gender.
Yeah, that ties into gender theory.
In a way.
I'll start kind of just talking.
Okay, sure.
I'm gonna take the conversation somewhere.
Right.
I think that United States is one of the most. No, the United States is the most racially diverse countries in the world.
Yeah.
I
would agree with that.
It has to be top three, and
Definitely.
it has to be top three. I'm not sure what other country would be more racially diverse than the United States.
Probably Singapore, usually that, where they actually,
Singapore?
yeah, because I think Singapore actually has it. I think they construct their society around racial diversity.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh,
From what I've heard, it could be totally wrong. From what I've heard, like they've actually, like, their thing is about more racial diversity. They have like people from around the world, not around the world, at least from when it comes to like Asia, like they have very big representative. Like they have like they have Chinese, Indians, maybe more. I don't know, but that's what I've heard. That the way Singapore aligns itself is definitely more along like the racial. It could be wrong. It could be like I just fucking heard some random fucking dude talking about it.
How about South Korea?
Well, I heard South Korea. Most of them are Korean, no?
I guess so. I'm not sure, but South Korea is one of those countries that is like really. I get the impression they're a very successful country right now. Like they're economically strong, technologically.
Yeah, but I don't think that has to do with like the racial diversity. I think they're definitely mostly Korean.
Yeah, I was just curious. Anyway, either way, the United States has to be up there.
No, for sure. We have I'm pretty sure we have almost every kind of people in our country.
And it's also one of the most racially sensitive countries as well.
Yeah, true.
I think people here really care about where you're from and respecting where you're from. That's part of our culture. Is being racially sensitive is American culture. You know, there's countries in Europe where I get the impression that they're much more likely to kind of make fun of and stereotype your race because just in their country it's
not as seen or whatever.
Yeah, it's not part of their culture to be so uptight about race. So the United States is really a country where any kind of immigrant can come to the United States and find success. So I really don't buy. You know, I have more arguments for that. That's just a general argument. Depends where you want to take it, but I really don't buy into the fact of systemic racism.
You don't?
No, I don't. I tried really hard thinking of examples of systemic racism in the United States, and I couldn't come up with any. The only example
you don't think? Let's say
I have one example. The only example of systemic racism that I could think of in the United States is the way that we allocate children to schools.
Okay.
For example, the school that a child is going to be assigned to is dependent on their location. You know, so poor neighborhoods will have generally worse schools, and poor neighborhoods tend to be filled with minorities, and because of that, minority families will be forced to send their children to poor schools. And many studies and research papers show that receiving a poor education is a large variable as to the type of success that you're going to have in the future. So that is really the only instance of systemic racism that I could think of. But even then, there's a lot of caveats. Now you said you were going to bring up another example. I could not think of any other example of systemic racism in the United States By the way, this would apply to whites. Like, if you're a white person in a poor neighborhood, you would be in the same thing. So, is it racism or is it just coincidence? It's hard to say.
So you don't think that let's say like black communities are more over policed than white communities? For example, we've heard this.
Yeah.
As like I guess ex-stoners.
Yeah.
About how black people smoke as much weed as much as white people.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they're arrested more for that crime.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? You don't think that's like an example
No.
No,
I looked into that.
What hell? Oh, I got fucking pee, dog. I'm sorry.
Do you have pee?
Yeah, dude. Dude, the fucking beer. Oh, I'm sorry.
Alright. I'm gonna finish that joke that I was gonna bring up. Alright. So I was alright, so I heard my girlfriend scream, "Ah!" Right? From the kitchen. I go to the kitchen, right? And I'm like, babe, what's going on? What's going on? And she tells me, look, there's a spider. I want you to take it out. Take out the spider. I'm like, spider? That made you scream? Like, yeah. Freaks me out. I want you to take it out. I take it out. All right. I'll take it out. So I got the spider and I took it out. And I got the spider, I took it out, and it turns out he's a pretty cool guy. We went out for a couple of beers, and I don't know what problem my girlfriend had with the spider. The spider is pretty cool. Turns out it's a web designer. You back?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right, ready. Here you go.
And,
I got the thing. I actually think we have.
What?
I think we have the fourth one. I got the little
What?
thing.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Right here, look.
Oh, somewhere there. All right, so I don't even know what.
Yo, where did I go?
I
Yo, I don't remember.
don't know. You had like a schizophrenic break.
Yeah.
Anyways, what were you saying?
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I was saying like how like let's say black communities are more over policed
Yeah.
than like white communities. How that's
Yeah.
kind of that would be an example of
You're first of all, I'm gonna say you're absolutely right. Black communities are over policed. That's absolutely true. But what is also true
they commit more crime.
is that there's more crime in black communities.
Well,
Therefore,
there's more police.
there's more police in African American communities.
What do you think they commit more crime?
Why do I think they commit more crime?
Yeah. So like for example, why do
That's a $1 million question. I'm not sure. But that's besides the point.
Okay.
Why they commit more crime, I'm not going to say. I have no idea. But that's besides the point. The fact is, in these African American communities, particularly the poor ones, there is more crime. So it makes sense that there's more police activity to meet the demand of crime levels. So it's not that African American communities, African Americans are more policed because they're African Americans. It's just that these communities that are high in crime rates happen to be African American and other minorities. Therefore, more police activity are in these communities. In a sense, it has nothing to do with crime, but in a sense, it has nothing to do with race, but in a sense, it does. Either you think that it has nothing to do with race, and that poor communities generally amount to more crime, or you think that African Americans are more likely to commit crime. Personally, I don't think African Americans are more likely to commit crime. I think that poor communities are more likely to commit crime. It just so happens that they're black. So there's more police activity. So that idea that African Americans are more policed or over policed, it's kind of not true. It's poor communities are more policed than, let's say, middle class communities because there's more crime in poor communities. Now, you also brought up the issue of African Americans that get caught on drug charges
more often than white people.
More often,
then
white people will get sentenced
on a specific drug charge, like marijuana or whatever.
Exactly. It turns out I looked into those stats as well. African American, when a judge deals a damn bro, where did I go? I want to show you.
Wait, it doesn't matter what you want. You just got the portfolio.
Yeah, I got the thing. I
got the thing. I know. I believe you.
I don't even know how to get out. Okay, here you go.
I believe you, bro. It's just like I don't. I believe you. I believe you got it, bro. I do. I
got it. Just take my word for it. All right, so judges. I looked at that statistic because African Americans, they do get penalized harder. They get worse sentences for the same crimes that whites commit. But it turns out, as harsh as this sounds, the judges take into account previous offenses. So unfortunately, on average, a white person who commits a crime has less of a track record than an African American. So the stat that African Americans, they get worse rulings from the judge, turns out because on average African Americans, they tend to also have previous track records of criminal offenses. So when a judge rules on their case, they take into account those previous offenses. So that's not really an example of systemic racism. That's one that I went to. That's one of the first ones that I went to. It's not really an example of systemic racism because there's legitimate legal, let's say, rationale behind those decisions. So it's not on the basis of race. So it's more on the basis of, it's the basis of there's rationale behind it. It's not just racism. So that's not really a tenable example of systemic racism. It's harsh, but it's not racism. It's not. Is there any other example of systemic racism? Like I said, the only example of systemic racism I can think of is the education system. That's the only one. I thought really hard about this.
I'm trying to think of one. Let's see. Okay.
Here's another example that I looked into is why African Americans are less likely to get hired than a white American. The classic example is you have a resume with an African American name.
Yeah.
The same exact resume with a white name. The white name gets picked more. I looked into that one as well, right? Because that's a pretty good indication of systemic racism. That's a good, let's say, that's a good little path to follow, right? That's a good indication of systemic racism. It turns out the reason that's the case
is what?
Is because of what's it called? Diversity initiatives. I forget what they're called. You remember what they're called?
Fuck.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what I'm talking about. I forgot the name slips by me, but at the moment. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yo, look.
I don't know how the fuck we got here, dude.
I don't remember either.
Fucking alcohol, dude. Oh shit! It is the boss.
All right.
All right, yeah. Don't talk. Just concentrate. What? No, isn't the? It is the boss. It is the boss.
Holy shit!
Oh my god!
Yeah. He's got that 2-strike.
And then that crystal thing.
Okay. He shoots.
He shoots. He calls people.
Boom, boom. I'm done.
This is a form of systemic racism.
This is systemic racism.
This is systemic racism.
This guy's a minority. He's the only main character in this game, and everyone's out to get this guy. All right, so he's gonna go for the 2-piece.
1, 2, and then you can.
Okay, he's gonna shoot this, and the guys are gonna come out.
I think when you go too far from me, start shooting.
Oh, okay.
So I think if you stay close, you avoid the shots.
Okay. Fuck.
They got here by incident, but accident.
All right, no, we have to beat this guy before we end this episode.
All right, yeah.
All right, if you want to talk, go ahead. I'm gonna focus on this. Go. You talk. I'm gonna try and answer your question.
I don't want to distract you.
No, I can do it.
Are you sure? Dale. Okay, I'm trying to think about another what would we consider systemic racism? Because so systemic racism doesn't have to be perpetrated by individuals. It's kind of like culture or the system. So for example, a person itself doesn't have to be racist for there to be systemic racism. So I think an example would be let's see how about generational wealth? Let's see. It is true that white people who immigrated, European Americans who immigrated this country probably have more of have an upper hand because they've been able to accumulate wealth over generations as opposed to people who are either enslaved or kind of second class citizens as opposed. Because African Americans and people like us were second class citizens in this country until let's say 60 years ago. What was 1960s? Were what 2 1 0? Yeah, pretty much 60 years ago. 60 years ago is when it's pretty much when we were guaranteed rights and we were able to buy property in certain areas. We were kind of redlining everything. That's what was kind of redlining. We were allocated to certain areas that we could buy property in. And there were poor areas, as opposed to white people that they were able to buy it or pretty much wherever they wanted. So I would think that's a form of systemic racism. Obviously, it's not perpetuated today, but we can kind of see how that generational wealth has kind of accumulated over time, and I would assume white people will have more the upper hand than somebody who was either a slave or a second class citizen. It's really hard to say these things when you're kind of drunk. It's really hard.
Well,
but I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Generational wealth is a fact of life.
Okay,
let's say.
I already see where you're going with it, but okay, go ahead. But I'm talking about broadly speaking, you can kind of see how black people kind of have black or I would say there's some Hispanic communities, but black and Hispanic people are kind of destroyed at the stake as supposedly they're generation speaking, their ancestors didn't have the chance to accumulate wealth as opposed to white people.
That's absolutely true. Unfortunately, right, due to feudalism and slavery. Oh shit!
I forgot how I beat this. I think about it. How the fuck did I beat this boss? I don't even remember this boss, dude. Can I try? Let me try.
Yeah, good try.
Let's try. So go ahead, take a talk.
Yeah, so that's absolutely true that there is more white generational wealth because of the history of the country. White families, historically speaking, have had more of an opportunity to accumulate wealth. Therefore, they've been able to pass it on. That's an undeniable fact. However,
it's pretty hard.
However, there's two approaches to this argument, right? There's the kind of the modern approach, and then there's a little bit of a kind of like a monetary policy approach. The modern approach is that there's nothing impeding minority groups from developing generational wealth. Any family is able to generate wealth and pass it on.
Dude, this is pretty hard.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So as it stands right now in the United States, there's nothing preventing you from being successful, and passing on wealth to your fellow family. So you can create generational wealth. You're not really playing by different rules. If you think you're playing by different rules, then chances are you're ignorant to the rules. Just for reference, I am an accountant, and I do a lot of research on finance, monetary policy, finance tactics, investing, and things like that. And the rules are equal for everyone. It's just a matter of whether you understand them or not. So if you think you're playing by different rules, whether you're a minority or not, that really just means that you're ignorant to what is possible in the financial world. The way you stop becoming ignorant is by researching and learning about the financial world and exploiting the rules to the best of your abilities. So that's one argument. But the other argument is that once slavery was lifted and African Americans were given the opportunity to work and kind of live these autonomous lives, they were able to, holy shit, that guy just jumps right.
Yeah, I know, bro.
They were able to escape poverty at a rate that has been at an incredible rate. They've been able to escape poverty. Around the 1970s, when the United States government, the federal government, decided that African Americans needed help, they implemented the welfare state. The welfare state, ever since it was implemented, has made it more difficult for African American families to escape poverty. So any kind of disparage in a portion of the discrepancy of generational wealth between whites and blacks, let's exclude every other minority, is a result of the bad monetary policy by the United States federal government, which they implemented to help the African American. So they implemented monetary policy, the welfare state, to help African Americans. However, it has had the reverse effect.
How so?
In that it's kept African Americans, a portion of African Americans, in poverty more than before there was a welfare state. Before the welfare state, African Americans were escaping poverty at an incredible pace. They were getting jobs, they were working, they were studying, they were getting educated, they were doing everything in their ability to. Oh, you're doing pretty good.
No. Never mind.
Let me try. Let me try again.
So, do you think there shouldn't be any welfare? You don't think that the government should kind of assist people who are like down on their luck?
I think that they should. I think that government should do that. But the problem is the way they're doing it is not optimal.
Ineffective.
Yeah, it's ineffective.
Okay, I mean, I don't think I disagree with that.
The welfare state, as we know it currently, it helps people. There's no denying that it helps people. However, it harms them. It harms people more than it helps them. And the problem is it's a lot easier to see how it's helping people than it is to see how it's hurting people.
So fast.
Yeah, he's fast as fuck. So I think that the welfare state has helped people. It's helped people from starving and things like that. So he goes to a 3-piece. He does 3. Yeah.
So once he gets like middle, he goes to like a 3 combo.
Yeah. So the welfare state helps people in that it gives them Medicare and, let's say, food stamps and other kinds of services. However, the main issue with the main issue with healthcare is that it decentralizes people to work. The problem is that the benefits that people receive from welfare sometimes out. Okay, so if someone's on welfare, and let's say they're receiving $2,000 a month of welfare benefits, right? If they were to get a job, those welfare benefits go entirely. They get taken away entirely because now they're working. However, let's say now that they're working, they're making $1,500 a month. Less. I was actually doing pretty good that month.
Yeah, they want.
So a person says, well, unless I can get a job that makes more than the welfare that I'm receiving, it's not worth taking. What happens is, because people are on welfare, it's the longer you're on welfare, the harder it becomes to get a job that pays as much as your welfare pays. Because you're just not working. You're not getting experience. You're not out there. It becomes more difficult. You become a more difficult hire. This is known as the welfare trap, where welfare benefits outweigh the amount that you would be able to make from work. So it decentralizes people from working. So is it helping these people? Holy shit, this 2 damage. Fuck. It decentralizes people from finding jobs. Now, so you have this system that is keeping people supported by the government. However, they're unable to escape the system because the system, I guess you could say welfare is systemic racism. Because the system is keeping African Americans poor. Particularly African Americans, because that's one of the main minority groups. However, Latinos are also another minority group affected by this. I'm not sure we're gonna beat this guy.
We got to, man. Yeah.
This is gonna be a long episode, dude.
It is a super long. I don't know how long we've been talking. This has been more 40 minutes.
Fuck. Alright.
Check how long we've been talking.
Check how long? Alright.
I just want to check.
Yeah, I want to check too.
How has it been?
An hour.
Has it? Oh shit!
This has been an hour long, dude.
Alright, bro.
Yeah, we can call it. We can call it right here. We know where we're at.
But yeah, I want you to finish your point though.
Okay. Alright.
Finish your point, and then we can call it because I didn't realize it was been an hour.
Yeah, dude. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna start from the beginning. The welfare benefits provide a certain amount of benefits in terms of dollar value.
No.
So the example that I gave is you can receive $2,000 of welfare benefits in a month. Now, maybe you can find a job, but that job will only pay you something like $1,600 a month, $800 paychecks. Now, a rational human being would not take that because, first of all, you're going to work 40 hours and make less money, or you could work 0 hours and make more money in terms of welfare benefits. This incentivizes you not to work. Because you don't work, it becomes harder to find work that will pay you more. This is known as the welfare trap. So you just get stuck relying on welfare. Thus, your economic position is stuck at poverty levels. Because of the implementation of the welfare state, minority families, poor families, which are minority, particularly African American families, are big recipients of the welfare benefits. Therefore, their economic situations have stagnated because they've been incentivized to take these welfare government handouts or benefits. Prior to the welfare state, there's no welfare, none of it. African American families were finding ways to work, put their children through school and college, therefore getting higher paying, higher earning jobs, degrees, and middle class, positions. They were, during this course, they were elevating in terms of economic positions at a rate that has never been seen before. A whole group of people were elevated out of poverty in a rate that has never been seen before in the history of United States or Earth. But once the welfare state was implemented, that progress was stagnated because of the misconstrued incentives. I forget what your original point was. But welfare state is something that has, welfare state in theory is something that benefits people who are struggling. However, it also harms them. But the thing is welfare also comes at a cost. The people who are working, people who are succeeding, have to pay for the welfare. The problem is, you keep expanding welfare benefits, you take away from the people who are succeeding, who are elevating, and you make it even harder to elevate. For example, a bachelor's degree is really not that big of a deal anymore. It's kind of cheap, let's say.
Relatively so.
In the 1950s, 1960s, let's say 1970s, a bachelor's degree instantly puts you at upper middle class. Instantly puts you at a very high income bracket relative, let's say, to the rest of the world. Not anymore. Maybe relative to the rest of the world, but in the United States, it hardly doesn't even make you middle class anymore. If you have a bachelor's degree, you're hardly middle class because, well, great, you have a job that pays $50,000, but you also have maybe like 60, 70 grand in student loan debts. So you're not really middle class if you're to live alone. You'd still be pretty close to lower middle class. So these welfare benefits, they have to come from somewhere, and it takes away from the middle class, usually. So welfare benefits help people, but they also harm people more than they help. So I think that there is a place for government support of the, let's say, impoverished, but as the current state of welfare is not the way to do it. Or rather, we have enough data to know that there's better ways of doing it, like universal basic income.
I see. I don't.
So racism, systemic racism, it's a myth. It's a myth.
I'm too drunk to respond.
Yeah.
I'm pretty fucking faded.
You faded?
I can't respond, dude.
Bro, I feel like I have my best thoughts when I'm drunk.
Really?
Or maybe my worst thoughts.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe when we listen to this, we'll be like, what the fuck did we say? Yeah, I think we should end it there.
Alright.
I'll respond to you some other week, dog.
All right.
Good night, guys. Fuck all you.